Duke Leto Atreides is the perfect example of fatherhood. The upcoming scene that I am going to break down from Dune Part 1 is the best father-son dialogue I have seen in a very long time. Before we watch the clip, I just want to say, if you are a father or one day hope to be a father, pay close attention how Leto Atreides teaches his son and encourages his son. The Duke forged Paul Atreides into a great man, and this is the father's duty. You cannot be a great man if you fail your son.
Father, I'd like to ask to join Duncan, Idaho on a scout mission to Arrakis tomorrow. I've studied the Fremen language. I'd be an asset.
Out of the question. They'll travel in a few weeks to Arrakis like the rest of us.
Paul is showing initiative and enthusiasm, which any father would be proud to see. However, Paul does not understand the danger that his family faces, and so the Duke dismisses his son's suggestion with authority and brevity.
I've been training my whole life. What is the point if I'm not allowed to face some actual risk?
Paul? You're the future of House Atreides.
And grandfather fought bulls for sport.
Yes. And look where that got him.
Paul then pushes back against his father by saying he has been training his whole life. He is emphasizing that he is ready for more responsibilities. Paul continues to challenge his father, but watch how he follows up and explains to Paul why he cannot go.
I need you by my side. When we get to Arrakis, we'll face enormous danger.
What danger? The Fremen? The desert?
Political danger.
Now, Duke Atreides is starting to tell his son how dangerous the move to Arrakis will be.
The great houses look to us for leadership, and this threatens the Emperor. By taking Arrakis from the Harkonnens and making it ours, he sets the stage for a war, which would weaken both houses.
Paul is still a boy, but Leto Atreides is explaining to his son the very serious political repercussions of moving to Arrakis. He wants Paul to be ready for the danger. He wants Paul to understand the gravity of this situation. He is not hiding his son from the reality of what is coming.
But if we hold firm and tap the true power of Arrakis, we could be stronger than ever.
What does that mean? Mining spice, keeping the Fremen in their place? We'd be no better than Harkonnens.
No.
The Duke is now alluding to his plan that will allow the Atreides family to succeed on Arrakis. Paul continues to question, as a boy does, but the father does not dismiss his son's questioning. He continues to explain further.
By making an alliance with the Fremen. That's what I've sent Duncan, Idaho to arrange. Here on Caladan, we've ruled by air power and sea power. On Arrakis, we need to cultivate desert power.
Not only does Leto tell Paul that the plan is to create an alliance with the Fremen, he makes sure that Paul understands why it is important by explaining that the Atreides family controlled the planet through air and sea power, and to succeed on Arrakis, they will need to cultivate desert power.
I want you sitting in on my council. Learn what I do.
What if I'm not, Dad?
Not what?
The future of House Atreides.
Then the Duke gives Paul the more responsibility that his son previously asked for. Never deny your son when he asks for more responsibility. Then Paul questions himself and wonders if he is not the future of House Atreides. And the way Duke Leto Atreides responds here is the greatest show of fatherhood I have seen in a long time.
I told my father I didn't want this either. I wanted to be a pilot.
You never told me that.
Your grandfather said, a great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it. And he answers. And if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son.
A great man doesn't seek to lead. He is called to it and he answers. I mean, what an incredible quote. Duke Leto first shows Paul his ring and tells Paul that when he was young, he also told his father that he didn't want to be Duke. He even tells his son that he wanted to be a pilot. Paul smiles, and you can see on Paul's face how much he appreciates his dad telling him this. He then says, a great man doesn't seek to lead. He is called to it and he answers. Then he continues, and if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be, my son. I really cannot put into words how amazing this dialogue is. What an incredible father. He tells his son that leadership is not something you seek out. It is something you are called to do. It is a burden and a duty. And yet, if Paul is not called to lead, he essentially tells his son that he loves him either way. A great father encourages his son to follow his destiny, whatever that destiny may be. A great father does not force his son down a certain path, but he teaches his son and he encourages his son to follow what he is compelled by.
I found my own way to it. Maybe you'll find yours.
In their memory, give it a try.
He then finishes by saying, I found my own way to it. Maybe you'll find yours. And then points to the graves of their ancestors and says, in their memory, give it a try. He accepts his son and loves his son no matter what, but he encourages his son to try. This is one of those scenes that always makes me emotional. It is such a great example for what a good father should be. He takes the time to teach his son. He tells his son that he had similar struggles when he was younger, and he encourages his son to try. And he emphasizes that he will love him no matter what path he takes. Whether you have a son or not, it is so important that we, as men, treat younger men this way. Young men today lack any sort of encouragement. We need to encourage young men and their masculinity. We need to encourage young men to take on more responsibility. And we need to encourage young men to try, to fail, and to learn. It all starts with the father. It is your duty to make sure that your son grows into a good man, accept his path, and encourage him to follow his dreams. Marcus Aurelius's greatest failure is that he was not a good father. And you could argue that if you are not a good father, then you are not a good man. The son is the extension of the father. And as a society, we need to stress the importance of raising boys into men, because by and large, society has failed our young men. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really means a lot. Remember, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Also, quick end note, if you enjoyed this type of video, please leave a comment below for other iconic scenes that I can break down about masculinity, brotherhood, fatherhood, anything like that. I am also open to any other video suggestions, video styles, video formats that people want to see. So definitely leave a comment if you have any ideas there. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it.